Hello and welcome to the Federal. Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta, who also holds the portfolio for finance in the Delhi government, the BJP government that was sworn in last month, uh, presented her first budget for the National Capital Territory of Delhi today. And uh, of course, it's a budget of a total, the volume of the budget per se is 1 lakh crore. This is the highest allocation or the biggest budget that Delhi has had so far. Uh, it's a 31.5% hike over the previous or the last budget that Delhi Chief Minister, cum Finance Minister Atishi from the Aam Aadmi Party had presented last year. Uh, well, the BJP, of course, as you all know, has come to power in Delhi after 27 long years. This is so, in that sense, for Rekha Gupta to be presenting the budget in the Delhi Assembly is in itself a sort of, one could say, a historic moment for the BJP and for Rekha Gupta herself, who's a first time MLA and immediately also the chief minister. But the budget as a whole is what perhaps needs greater examination, not just in terms of the volume of the budget or what kind of allocations have been made broadly under what heads, but also what it signifies politically and what its implementation should be like or could be like. You see the primary focus areas of the budget, if one looks at for Delhi, are interesting because there are major allocations aside from capital expenditure, which is consistent across BJP ruled states of increasing capital expenditure, just like the BJP does in the union budget also. So the capital expenditure for the Delhi budget has gone up from 15,000 in Atishi's last budget to 28,000 crore in the current budget. But that aside, what are the priority areas? There are, of course, Rekha Gupta, the CM, come finance minister, said there were 8 to 9 priority areas. But if you look at the allocations, what has been given in terms of schemes, uh, there's an interesting picture that emerges. The priority areas for in the budget seem to be education, infrastructure, health, and of course social welfare or social justice. Uh, you know, the departments and schemes that fall under that. These are the very sectors that contributed to the Aam Aadmi Party's dominance in Delhi. They talked big on education with Manish Sisodia when Manish Sisodia was the education minister. Later, Atishi as education minister, the Aam Aadmi Party always talked about the education model, and so that was one of the major pillars of the Aam Aadmi Party's governance in Delhi between 2013 and earlier this year. Now, of course, as is always the case with a budget becoming more of a political speech, uh, the new chief minister from the BJP continued in the same vein that we've, of course, heard over the last 10 years many times of how no previous government has done anything for Delhi. And this is the first time that Delhi has got a government that has a vision for Delhi, that wants to work for the people of Delhi. And so, in that vein, Rekha Gupta's speech had repeated references to how the Aam Aadmi Party during the 10 years, 11 years of its government talked big but did not do anything at all for Delhi. And whatever is being done is now being done for the first time. That was a common refrain by her. And this is what makes it even more fascinating or interesting politically on why the focus areas in her budget seem to be education, number one, uh, she's announced a large number of schemes under the education sector or for the education sector, which include setting up of 7,000 smart classrooms across Delhi government-run schools, distributing laptops to school children, setting up labs, setting up a Vidya Shakti scheme for coaching, providing free coaching to students, and n number of such schemes, and of course upgrading existing school infrastructure. One of the common refrains in her speech was that the Aam Aadmi Party talked a lot on education but did not do anything. They deliberately failed students in class 9 so that only the good students went to class 10 or reached class 12, and the board results of Delhi government schools will presented a very good picture. So while making all those allegations against the AAP, she also made huge allocations under the education department. Second, women, who were again a major vote bank for the Aam Aadmi Party because of the Aam Aadmi Party's various freebies, free bus rides, and free bijli, free pani, and all those promises, and many of which were also delivered during their tenure uh, at at different levels. So women again constituted a big chunk of this budget, where there's a scheme for expecting mothers where the government is going to provide an allowance to them of 21,000, to expecting mothers, setting up of creches, setting up of Anganwadis, special Anganwadis where women, poor women who have, babies, who have small children, can leave their kids and go to work. So a lot of focus on women. The third focus area, which was also a focus area for the Aam Aadmi Party, was health. Health again is a sector in which the BJP government has decided to make major allocations, or at least major announcements. The chief minister repeatedly talked about how, just like education, the Aam Aadmi Party talked big in terms of health, but did not do anything, and that all government-run hospitals in Delhi were in a very shabby state. And so she announced that in the health sector, there are going to be major investments through the course of the current financial year, and of course, the next 4 years of the BJP government. More hospitals will be built. There will be capacity building in existing hospitals, uh, and so on and so forth. The one big thing that, of course, uh, a lot of people wanted to hear about was the major poll plank of the BJP during the elections, which was cleaning of the Yamuna. Now, and of course, also air pollution, how to tackle air pollution in Delhi, which has been a major problem over the last few years. Uh, so, how to tackle air pollution, how to tackle the pollution of the Yamuna, the problems of dirty drinking water, problems of sanitation. That is an area again where, of course, the Aam Aadmi Party faced public ire in the elections on that front, and so that's become another major focus area for the Rekha Gupta led government. There is an allocation of over 9,000 crores that she has made for sanitation, drinking water, and related schemes. A separate allocation of roughly 500 crores for cleaning up of the Yamuna, and then she's talked about setting up an integrated command and control center, which will be like one common center in Delhi to monitor air pollution, monitor water pollution, the progress with the cleaning of the Yamuna, and so on and so forth. Various efforts under the thing of clean and green Delhi. So that's the other focus area that she's, kind of highlighted in the budget. The the one other thing which she has talked about at length is how her government plans to uh, promote Delhi as a destination. And in that, one of the major announcements today was that Delhi will be organizing for the first time. Of course, she hasn't given any timeline, but she said that we plan to organize for the first time an international film festival in Delhi, and we want to showcase Delhi to the world uh, in a much better and a more systematic way than it has been done so far. Uh, Interestingly, she talked a lot about Old Delhi, which is the you know the part of Delhi in that's commonly called Shahjahanabad, areas like Chandni Chowk, Chavdi Bazaar, and so on and so forth, which have a considerable population of Muslims, a community that we all know how the BJP sees. So that's, uh, I mean, if she does walk the talk there, there may be an interest that may be an interesting aside to the budget exercise of how she plans to, or she at least promises to, plan or restructure old Delhi for better, for as a better tourist attraction. But there are now these are of course the motivations, the political motivations here perhaps are that the Aam Aadmi Party does not want, the BJP does not want to give away the increased electoral strength it has got from traditional areas where the Aam Aadmi Party used to do well while it was in power. So the focus on education, the focus on cleaning of the Yamuna, the focus on clearing out garbage dumps in Delhi, on education, on health, on women. But then the issue remains, or where the budget is very vague, is the roadmap, and perhaps also to some extent the intent behind the BJP's of the BJP government. So the aside from the cleaning of the Yamuna, one of the other announcements that everybody was very keenly looking forward to was the BJP's poll promise of giving 2,500 per month as a cash dole, as an allowance to women in Delhi. They had, during the elections, promised that the very first cabinet meeting we hold, we are going to clear this allocation, this outlay of 2,500 per month to every woman of Delhi. After the elections, they said, Rekha Gupta said that the Aam Aadmi Party government has left the Delhi exchequer completely empty, and so we need to, be more alert, be more systematic with how we design that scheme of giving financial assistance to women. The Aam Aadmi Party, of course, had got a handle to attack the BJP with because of that stand, and they've continued to do so even today, where they've said that you have no clarity, you've not told the women of Delhi when are you going to give them that money. There is no cabinet decision as yet. The budget now allocates 5,100 crore for that particular scheme, the Mahila Samman Nidhi. Now, 5,100 crore clearly suggests that this 2,500 per month to women, which the BJP had initially promised during the elections as a universal scheme, meaning every woman in Delhi would get it, is not going to have that broader canvas. So there will certainly be criteria for who gets the money, who does not get the money. The so and of course she hasn't spelled out uh, that criteria. So one will have to still wait and see what criteria the BJP government has to roll out the Mahila Samman Nidhi. The other major uh, point to note in her speech was, while she talked big in terms of schemes, populist schemes, in terms of allocations, in terms of social welfare, for the first time we saw uh, her repeatedly make reference to schemes meant for Delhi Dehat, or the rural parts of Delhi, where she talks about how uh, her government wants to revive the Grameen board, which existed during the Sheila Dikshit government and then became defunct when the Aam Aadmi Party uh, came to power. And so she made a pitch for reviving the Grameen board. She talked about giving a top up to farmers who under PM Kisan get that 6,000 per year cash assistance, financial assistance from the center, where she said that aside from the 6,000 that the center gives, my government will give an additional 3,000. So there was also that pitch for the rural parts of Delhi, but without any clarity in terms of the roadmap. So how do these schemes get implemented? In the same context, one would like to also perhaps wait and see what happens to her big announcement on 500 crores allocated for the cleaning of the Yamuna. Uh, we all know the condition of the Yamuna. It's made national and international headlines time and again for its alarming pollution levels. I'll just give, to put this figure in context. Perhaps it's important to point out the Ganga, of course, covers a much larger area, but similar talk of pollution in the Ganga has been going on for decades now. The Modi government since 2014 announced the Namami Gange project to clean up the Yamuna, to clean up the Ganga. Prior to the Namami Gange project or the Namami Gange scheme, you had the Ganga Action Plan, which existed from 1986 to 2014. If you look at the Namami Gange and Ganga Action Plan expenditure till date from 1986 to 2025, over 50,000 crores has been spent on cleaning the Ganga. Now, of course, this is across states, across all the regions that the Ganga flows. So the canvas for is rather limited when you talk about the Yamuna in Delhi, but it gives you a scale and a, a kind of context. 50,000 crores spent on the Ganga between 1986 and 2025, and the Ganga continues to be a highly polluted river, as scientific studies have shown most recently during the Kumbh Mela in Allahabad. Now, with 500 crores allocated to clean up the Yamuna, where the pollution levels are way, way, way higher than they are in the Ganga, one will have to wonder what that 500 crores is ultimately going to achieve. Is it just going to end up being another, publicity scheme where they do a little bit of desilting of the Yamuna, a bit of dredging of the Yamuna, riverbed? They've talked about starting a yacht and a ferry service on the Yamuna for tourists. So, I mean, maybe some cosmetic things, but is it actually going to be enough to clean the Yamuna visibly over the next 5 years? Of course, 500 crores is the allocation for this year. One expects that this allocation will go up, but is 500 crores just a drop in a very dirty Yamuna is the question. So, in a sense, a budget that does make the right political noises. It's also a budget that has big ticket announcements, but whether the implementation uh, is just as good, one will have to wait and see. And the last concern that even in Rekha Gupta's speech made an appearance towards the end was she said that most of these schemes, these welfare schemes, for the implementation to happen, the Delhi government will first conduct a survey and issue certificates of who genuine beneficiaries of a Delhi domicile are, so that, again, it's a favorite topic of the BJP these days, so that illegal Bangladeshis, Rohingyas, and people who do not rightfully deserve these schemes meant for Delhi walas do not become a burden on the Delhi exchequer. And that, again, is going to raise fears of whether there will be a selective sort of targeting of these schemes and a selective denial of these schemes to certain people. And whether in the name of denying the scheme to Rohingyas and Bangladeshi immigrants, which are again very loosely applied in political terms, political situations, not just in Delhi, but even elsewhere, are the minorities in Delhi who constitute a substantial population going to be denied what they should get from the government in terms of welfare measures, and and also what the Delhi chief minister means when she says genuine Delhi walas, because Delhi has a massive migrant population. So, for instance, a Purvanchali or somebody from Madhya Pradesh or Tamil Nadu or Karnataka staying in Delhi, working here, is he entitled to a scheme? He may be or she may be working here for the last 10 years or 20 years, but she's not a Dilli wala in that sense. So does that mean that that person does not get the benefits of uh, a Delhi scheme, even if that person is a voter in Delhi by now? So though there are also many questions that arise from this budget, and we'll of course have to wait and see how the government delivers on all its stalled promises.